Welcome, everyone. We're here live watching some of the playoff action for the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Tonight, we're just getting started with our first round of playoffs. All the teams that are playing currently are teams that have qualified for playoffs. For those who are unfamiliar with the format, there was four pools of six for the 4 pools of 6 teams for the men, 4 pools of 16 for the women. The top team in each pool is qualified and moved on to the quarterfinals already for tomorrow morning. The next 8 best records for each of the men and the women are qualified for the playoffs, and those teams are facing off currently out on the ice. Right now, our main game here that we're watching is Team Reid Carruthers versus Team Michael Fournier. The first end, Fournier was able to steal 1 there versus Carruthers. So they're currently throwing the yellow rocks, and Team Carruthers has hammer here in the second end. Right now, Team Fournier on second rocks. Coming out is Sean Harrison. Sliding out with the release here. Fournier currently sitting second shot in the house, trying to draw in and see if they can get close to the rock at the back 8 there. Maybe tap it back there for Team Carruthers. See if they can sit 2 against them. Over curling a bit though, wrecking on the guard, going to spill in here. So going to be a chance for Carruthers to try and set up a good end here for themselves. Derek Samagalski, the second for Team Carruthers, getting set in the hack for them there. Team Carruthers coming in here as the higher seed of the 2. Team Fournier was actually just out on the ice right before this with a solid win against Team Sam Steep. That helped qualify Fournier for the playoffs here. So they're coming in with a little bit of good energy in their step here after a strong win coming in, but hopefully they've got the legs to keep going through a second game this late at night. Appreciate all of you joining us here this time of night. We know it's quite late, even later than we were hoping to get this draw started, but that's how the game goes some days. Samagalski here.
Clean. Yep.
Coming out there looking for a little bit of a bump and roll here off one of the yellows.
Clean.
Maybe get them both moving if they can. Getting a little tight to that guard. Good sweep by Jacobs to get it by. Taps one of the yellows through. Sticks around for third shot there near the top of the house.
I like normal.
Fournier looking to see if he can get the double and a roll underneath the guard. Be a great setup for an end here for him if they can get that underneath. Give him a good chance of putting some real pressure on Carruthers here this early in the end.
Whoa! Xander! Whoa! Xander!
This rock needs to curl up if they want to get the roll. Here it comes. Very nice shot. Lovely double. Sat and rolled perfectly in behind the center line guard. Carruthers immediately steps up, looking for the run back double if they can to try and clear everything out. Really hoping to get at least a piece of one of those yellows in the top 12 foot. If this only is able to get the guard and nothing else, it's going to give something for Fournier to kind of circle something around there. See if they can draw something in behind. Yeah, just able to get the top one there. So this is going to give a chance for Fournier to try and draw something right in behind those overlapped 2 in the top of the house.
Just set that. Okay.
Looks like he wants to hold off a little bit, wanting to throw the center line guard for another one here. See if he can draw out the end for another couple rocks before pushing into the house there. Is Kevin Flewelling throwing the third stones for Fournier's team.
Line's good. Xander.
Looks pretty good here. The line's really nice. Just going to be about halfway, roughly between the hog line and the house. Right on center line. Very good guard there. Reid assessing. Likely will try the run back again if he thinks that's their best move here. Lining it up again. Lots of confidence for Reid as he's got Brad Jacobs, former Olympic gold medalist, throwing here at third stones for him. Quickly calling the outside sweeper on, trying to push it across. Still just getting the guard there for it. Still a productive shot to clear that guard. You don't want to get nothing out of it there, but important to get something.
Same thing.
At the same time, every single time that they peel the guard and don't touch anything in the house, it just prolongs the potential for Fournier to get something in there. There comes Flawlin, throwing the same guard here, so hopefully he's able to get something up there.
Just Sander. Never Sean.
Looks pretty good. Slowly coming over. Might be a little bit more weight than the last one. This one might end up a little bit tighter to the rings. If so, if Reid chooses to go after it, that should make the run back a bit easier for them to try if it's a little tighter to the house. There he goes, looking for the same run back here. Basically, at this point, Reid is looking to see if they can try to get a blank out of this end. So if Brad's able to make this run back and get all the yellows spilling, this should set up well for Reid to try to go towards a blank end here.
Good shot.
Gets the run back, gets two of them going. The back yellow that was just biting the top 8 sticks around on the side of the house there. Leaves his guard up front, though. The shooter stays for pretty close to a center line guard. Fournier immediately identifies that he wants to try and go around there. Good chance for the force if Fournier is able to sink one right in behind this.
Okay. It's up to speed now?
Not quite as quick.
An even better possibility for as well as steal here. This is a chance where he can try and go a little bit more aggressive if he can get something right around the top 4, dead behind that guard.
Line's real good. Line's real good.
Line looks like it's pretty good here. Sweeper's getting on it well before the hog line, though. Trying to drag this in, trying to make it as close to the T line as they can. Really pushing. Looks like it's just not quite as deep as they wanted. Just biting the 8-foot. It is shot rock ahead of the one on the side of the house. But Michael would have really liked to get that a little bit tighter to the 4-foot there if he could have. As Reid kind of assesses his next shot, we'll just let you know that as the draw goes along, we'll try and keep you updated on all the other playoff action going on, give you a bit of an idea of how those games are playing out, and let you know some of the teams that have already qualified for tomorrow morning's draw as well.
Like edge of 8. Yeah.
Reid now signaling that he wants to go for the draw here. So Reid's accepted that he's not going to get a blank out of this end. He's going to try and really secure his 2 here if possible. So his best way of doing that is trying to get something right near the 4-foot, make it hard for Michael to remove that stone, and hope that he's got a chance for 2 on his second rock.
I don't think it's going to be crazy.
Falling down over there.
Yeah.
I can chase it.
So I don't know if you need to really leave. Let's see. 14-6. I like that thought.
Reid settles in.
Hiding her.
This is a path that hasn't been played all end long for either team here, so this could be a little bit fresh for them. Sweepers need to stay focused, keep an eye on this rock. They're close. Look, they think it's all there. They're hanging back a bit. Looks like it's running a bit more than they would have expected. Unfortunately, just slides all the way to the back 12. That'll be third shot right now for them. This is a big opportunity now for Michael Fournier's team. They can get one in there into the top 4, in behind their other one. They'll be sitting 3 at that point, with a lot of trouble for Reid to try to even score this end. The biggest thing, though, for Fournier's team is to make sure they try and shrink this scoring area as much as possible. They don't want to leave something open for Reid to try and hit. Try and get as tight to the button as possible as well, just so that Reid has as little room to draw to as possible on his last rock.
I only have to bury half of it, right? So I don't need to be anywhere near the guard. So you think it's
slower on this side. Like, he threw 13.5.
Oh, okay. So 95?
Yeah, 95. Better do light.
Okay.
Fournier following the same path that Reid just went down. After watching Reid's stone come down this path, his sweepers will have a much better idea of how fast this path is. Quickly, they're jumping on it, thinking that this needs a bit of extra help. The line looks fantastic if they can get it in the right spot here. Just comes in nice and tight to that one in the top 12, and look at this, great shot, top of the button, really, really shrinking the area for Reid here. Now Reid deciding, does he want to try and play a hit and roll in, or is he going to try and do a straight draw? Looks like he's thinking the straight draw, just trying to decide how much ice he needs. Letting Brad know where to put the broom for him. So yes, this will be the draw against 3 here for Reid.
Close. Little less.
Big moment here. Reid needs to really try and, at most, cut this down to 1. Or sorry, at minimum, cut this down to 1. He needs to keep this game close here, but if he can make this and put it right on the pin, that'll be a huge momentum change for his team. Here we go, last rock of the second end. Connor Negevin, Derek Samagalski with the sweep here. Backing off a little bit. This looks like it might be a little bit heavy. Not too far away, though, they're backing. They think it's all there. Just staying back now. Kevin flowing, trying to drag it back as much as he can. Only goes to the back 8, so it's only a steal of 1 there. After a great draw by Michael Fournier, that's a pretty good result. We'll be back with the third end shortly.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And we are out here in Waterdown. And you know what? If you are sick and tired of being in the city, you know, we all love Toronto. I love Toronto, but you know what? Maybe it's a little bit too crowded. Maybe there's a little bit too much gridlock. Maybe there's no place to walk and go see cool stuff. So come on out to Waterdown. It's awesome. Beautiful little village you can walk, great shops, cafes. We have the Waterdown Memorial Park just over the street. It's got a splash pad, baseball diamond. It's got a skateboarding thing for kids. We have a huge Fortino's. I was in there today getting flowers. It's crazy, that store. It's unbelievable. So you have Bike Pass, and you have the Bruce Trail, and you have a ton of parks. And we're in this lovely, quiet little subdivision. And look behind me, just say, friggin' gorgeous. This house is spectacular. Custom built, beautiful finishes. We have decor black stainless steel appliances, quartz counters throughout, 3/4-inch white oak hardwood floor, ceramic tile. You want light, you want windows, you want bright. This house is gorgeous, super modern, open concept main floor, living, dining. It's got a butler's pantry, this office on the main floor. Upstairs we have 3 bedrooms, and you know what? Every bedroom gets their own bathroom. And the master has a steamed glass shower in it with a beautiful soaker tub. It's just luxury, luxury, high-end, luxury, high-end, luxury, high-end. This home is gorgeous. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the photos, the videos, and give me Stu a call for a personal tour.
Welcome back, everyone, to the third end of the first round of playoffs for the Stu Cells Oakville Tankard. If any of you were watching the commercial that we just had during the break, quick plug from my friends there. That's actually the house of a good close friends of mine that are selling that place. Custom design, great building. I would strongly recommend you check it out if you're interested. It's on the market right now through Stu Cells. We're back here with the game. Team Fournier up 2-0 in the third end here. Steals of 1 in both the first and the second. They've come out quite strong here against Team Carruthers. Carruthers throwing the red stones with hammer here in the end. Just a quick recap for those who are just checking in on the tournament and haven't been following along closely. Carruthers started out really strong this event with a big 8-1 win and draw 1 against Team Jaden King, 5-3 win and draw 4 against Team Mark Keane, a 4-2 win against Team Sato from Japan, but then had a rough one against Team Schuster and draw 10, dropping that result 9-0 against them. So Carruthers coming in with very little momentum right now, but have played it very well overall in the event. Whereas Team Fournier coming in with a lot of momentum off their most recent win, draw 12 earlier tonight against Team Sam Steep, a 10-3 win against them. Prior to that, though, in their first game, they beat Team Portugal, led by Chris Rabot, 10-1 in draw 3. Then dropped decisions to Ross White of Scotland, 7-3, and Pat Ferris of Ontario, 7-3. So they've had a bit of a mixed bag, but sometimes that momentum in the previous draw can make a big difference for them.
Like this?
Right now, Fournier sitting the 1 on the top button there. Carruthers looking to try and set up something here. He doesn't need to get too aggressive. It is the third end, even though he's down 2-0. If he can get 2 out of this end, he'll be quite happy here. Doesn't need to rush. Can try and set something up and still try and maintain the ability to bail out of the end if needed. So right now they're looking to try and come through the port, just do a little bit of a double tap on those 2 rocks in the house, see if he can have 2 reds in there. Not worried about removing the yellow immediately, just trying to change positions a little bit and set himself up with a good chance to get 2 or 3 out of this end. Looks like this one's hanging out there. They're really trying to push to get by the guards. Just through the hole. Really nice. Not going to even tap the ones in the house. Just going to settle in behind that 1 guard right by center line there. Pretty good setup, though, so far for Reid.
Yeah,
Michael now looking like he wants to deal with that one that was just thrown there. Initially motioning for potentially a slash run back, looking also at the nose run back on the one near center there. Just trying to figure out what their best chance is. Sean Harrison throwing second rocks here. Gets pretty close to the nose run back, takes care of the one in the top 8. Pretty good result. Not able to stick the one that they ran back, but a nice result altogether. Keeps his center guard, and that's pretty important for him. He needs to make sure that this doesn't get cleared open too quickly. If it does, it'll allow Reid to try and spread rocks to the sides of the house, allow Reid to try to maybe set up a 2 in there. With keeping that center guard, it'll allow Fournier to try to get something around there still, in addition to the one that he's already got on the top of the bus. Reid trying to get that one back there that they had on the top of the 8-foot. Jacobs trying to push it over here, trying to get it off that corner guard. It's a pretty tight court. Just clips the guard. But with the right weight, it ends up in almost the same spot that they just had it there. We'll likely expect Fournier to try a similar kind of attempt here as they just did, although he's looking at potentially just trying to come around that guard instead of trying the same run back that they just played.
Still do this one. I kind of like this one. You like this? All right, deal.
Looks like they're having trouble agreeing on a shot. Oh, they've come to an agreement there as a team. Trying the same run back here. If they can stick the if they can stick the one that they're running back into the house, they'll be quite happy with that result, as that'll help give them a chance at the force later in the end if they're not able to set up a good steal here.
Whoa.
This one over curling a little bit though. Just going to peel the guard and roll away the shooter. Not a great result for Fournier there. Either they'd want to make the run back, or at least they'd want to keep the shooter if they could. Reid now sensing an opportunity here. Looks like he's trying to figure out where they can put another rock. He knows those Reds are lined up really well, that almost any play by Fournier, there's no chance to get rid of both of them in one shot. So if he can try and set up another couple options here for him to get his 2, possibly even a 3, that's his best bet here. So he's going to try and throw one around that corner red guard off to the side. Be looking for this to be around top 12, top 8-foot weight. They want it relatively even with the other Reds in the house if they can, to avoid any kind of double. It's getting a little tight to the guard, but they're by. Now it's a matter of where it stops. The sweepers have backed off. Looks like it's just a bit heavy though. It's going to bite at the back of the house. Ooh. Looks like it might have just gone too deep there. Michael didn't even really take a look. Makes me think that, yes, it just went out the back of the house. Still in play there, but just not biting. So Michael's going to try and make a little hit and roll here off this one in the top 8-foot. Knows again that he can't get rid of both of them at the same time without losing his yellow. And even then, I'm not sure both Reds could go on one shot. So he's going to play this in a couple parts here. Just try and take care of one Red at a time.
It's not on. It's out.
Just a relatively quiet weight hit here, just about board, maybe control weight.
Close. Yep. Whoa.
Really important to try and stick around here behind this corner guard so that it doesn't allow Reid to try and set something up behind his corner guard.
Do not.
Little roll over. It does jam the red though.
Okay.
That's an unfortunate break there for Fournier. That red stopping just outside the house, but this jamming on it now means it's almost fully in the 12-foot there. Michael's team sits first and third shot,
Yeah.
but Reid's now sensing that, again, he's got a chance here to set something up this end. He's got second and fourth shots, going to try and hit third shot here and roll off to the side to spread as many of the reds around as he can. Waiting for his opportunity to strike a little bit later in the end to try and get rid of that one in the center. Might require a double or something along those lines at that point, but he's willing to wait it out to see if he can get the big end out of this.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa.
This looks pretty good coming down here. Needs to curl up a little just to make sure it sticks around. Don't want to roll out if they can. Very nice. Just rolls off to the side 12. Pretty much the same height in the house as their one that's sitting right on the top 4 foot, so no double there. Very difficult to do any kind of cross house double. So pretty good result there for Team Carruthers.
Even if you miss it, you come over here.
Fournier recognizing right away that he needs to try and cut down on the reds. So he's looking to hit that one that they just threw in there, trying to figure out where the best spot to roll to is. He doesn't see an easy double anywhere, but he doesn't want to leave a double back for Reid that does give Reid the big end that he's looking for. So he wants to set up a spot where there's ideally no double, or at least a very, very difficult double for Reid.
Yeah, it is. Doesn't he make this and then we're fucked to... Well, I guess then we got the double. Yeah, okay. I kind of like normal up a little bit. Like that. Okay.
Looks like they're going to try and just roll pretty much beside their rock that's top button there. If they're able to roll there, the rock that's being thrown here as it rolls over should settle in right behind that corner guard. And that'll make it very difficult to try and get rid of both yellows. They'll be side by side, no overlap with one of them behind the corner guard. Almost impossible to get rid of them both in one shot if he can settle right in there. Throwing pretty good weight at this. He wants to be a very flat roll, so he needs to hit the red rock quite thick to make sure that he doesn't roll very far and deep. Doesn't quite hit as thick as he wants. Might get a break. No, just goes under the red stone at the back 12. So that's an unfortunate break for Fournier there. They needed to stick around on that to really keep Reid from opening up this end the way he wants. Reid's now going to make the play here on the red-yellow combination. Just needs to figure out where he wants his red rocks to end up, with Fournier only having one more stone to come.
Yeah. The other thing with going my way is like I do this and then his bing bing he's under. So, yeah, I guess the end of the world is not the end of the world if I knows. No.
I think it's harder than you think to make that 2 go out of the ring.
Yeah, it's probably like a 2/3. It's easy.
Yep.
Like cross. You like that? Like even 3/4-ish. Yeah. Okay.
Reid knows that as he makes contact with that red-yellow combination, because they're overlapped but not with the red directly on the nose. If he hits it on the nose, his shooter will stay right there, but the one that's locked on the yellow will spill over to the side. Whereas if he hits it on a little on the side that the red is already on, where aligned with the yellow, then his shooter will be the one that rolls away, whereas the red that's on the 4-foot would stay there. So he's just trying to figure out where he wants them to both end up, but ideally only one of them is going to be rolling away from the center line here. The other one will be staying right near it. Reid with the throw here.
Whoa.
Derek Samagalski going hard on it early. Now switch to Connor Negevin to try and get it to curl. They're pretty close here to what they're after. Gets it almost on the nose and a little bit of a spill away from the one that was already on the forefoot. Leaves them sitting 3 here.
I think I want to go firm.
Michael Fournier looking here for his last rock at the end. Hoping to cut down the number of reds in the house. Seeing if there possibly even is a triple, at the very least hoping to get a double out of this and leave Reid at best a shot for 2. Michael's even pointed that, you know, if he can make this double, he might be able to also get the roll under that corner guard to really make it hard for Reid to get that multiple this end.
Let's go, boys.
So it could be a chance for Michael to get out of quite a bit of danger here if he can make a really good shot on this one. Coming out with pretty big weight here.
Xander!
Needs to curl up a bit. Just a little off center line. Gets the double. Rolls off to the side. Ooh, and that could be pretty close there. They're going to have to take a look and see who shot. If that yellow shot, it could be very difficult for Reid to get his 2 this end.
Yeah,
Looks like Jacob motioned that he thinks it's them who shot.
Handle on ours. Okay.
Jacob's indicating that he's pretty sure it's the red that shot rock.
There's enough room.
That quickly will dictate the shot call here. If they believe they're shot rock, then all Reid needs to do is draw into the house to get his second point. That way, avoiding needing to make a play to move that yellow to try and bring that red into play there. So they're pretty decisive on this. It suggests that it is fairly clear to them that they are currently sitting 1 at the back of the 12. So all Reid needs to do here is get full 12 to get his 2 points then.
I thought light, so
This path was fairly well used over the first bit of the game here, so this should not be a surprise to the sweepers, the speed of this path. Samagalski down, sweeping pretty hard there. Connor Negevin joining him. They probably think it's pretty close. Looks good from here. And that will be a 2 then as it slides right on into the 8-foot. Kevin Llewellyn just taking another look before he agrees, but that's a 2 there for Team Carruthers. We're all tied up as we go to the 4th end now.
did you get it?
That's good enough for me. All right, welcome back everyone to the fourth end here of the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard playoff round. Team Carruthers with a big 2 here in the third end tied it up. So now Fournier, for the first time in the game, will have Hammer here in the fourth end, throwing the yellow stones. Carruthers getting that center line guard up from Connor Negevin, now with a go-around after Fournier threw one in the top 12 around it. So it looks like both teams playing to the center early this end. Should create a lot of action for us, which will be great. Very nice, right on top of the pin there from Negevin. Xander Elms now coming with the lead stones here for Team Fournier. While he's throwing that rock, we'll just give everyone a bit of an idea of the other matchups that are out on the ice. So on the men's side, our other matchups here in the playoff round is Owen Purcell of Halifax, Nova Scotia against Jordan McNamara of Ottawa, Ontario. After 2 ends, that's 1-0 for Jordan McNamara's team.
Curling yet. Just for weight. Whoa, no.
Also, we have Glenn Howard of Penetanguishene against Mark Keane of Woodstock. That's 2-1 for Mark Keane after 2 ends. And then Corey Dropkin of Duluth, Minnesota against Sam Moybrook of Whitby, Ontario. That one's currently 3-1 for Corey Dropkin after 3 ends. On the women's side, we've got Shelley Hardy of Sarnia, Ontario against Delaney Strauss of Traverse City, Michigan. That one is tied at 1 after 2 ends. Isabel Ladisseur of Whitby, Ontario against Christina Black of Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's 1-0 for Isabel after 1 end.
Line's good.
Sayaka Yoshimura of Sapporo, Japan versus Holly Duncan of Woodstock, Ontario, tied at 1 after 2 ends.
Keep going.
And Tabitha Peterson of St. Paul, Minnesota against Haley Armstrong of Ottawa, Ontario. It's 2-0 for Tabitha Peterson after 2 ends. So early on, lots of close games, which is exactly what you want to see when you come to the playoff round. Looks like we're going to have the same sort of thing on both the men and the women's side. So hope everyone's got lots of caffeine in them to stay up late with us here tonight. So Fournier here recognizing that pretty good setup quickly from Team Carruthers here. Looks like he needs to move some granite around. They're going to try and make a little hit here on the yellow-red combination in the top 12. Get rid of that yellow rock, get rid of the red rock, I should say. Try and leave a couple yellows up front for them to work with and clear the center so that they can eventually get rid of that one rock on the button there.
Far as it goes.
Very nice. Keeps the one in the top 12. Spins the shooter over to the side of the house, giving them a few options and leaving them sitting second, third, and fourth shot here. I don't expect Reid to leave that lonely red by itself in the house. He'll either draw another one in or look to start cutting down some of the yellows, depending on how aggressive he wants to be here. Looks like he's thinking just put the red back up there, but in a little bit better spot. Now motioning maybe play the double.
It's 2 shots.
Looks like they're thinking to play the hit here. See if they can make that double on the 2 yellows. If they can hit it just right, they should keep the red that's on the button. It might move a little bit, but it should be able to stick around if they can get this at the right angle there, as well as keep their shooter. Derek Samogolski sliding out with the throw here. Not throwing big weight here. They're trying to be very precise on this, and they don't want to lose their rock on the button here. A lot of times teams might throw a lot of weight at this, and then that red would easily go. They're trying to be very controlled with this. Looks like it's just over curling for the double a little bit, but that's not a bad result. They still sit in the top 12, helping guard their one that's on the button while counting out that rock in the side 12 foot there, the yellow one that was thrown on the previous shot.
I know it's nuts. It's nuts.
Michael Fournier now looking at his options, thinking that the run might be the best chance for them here. Pretty good setup for Team Carruthers at the moment. So Fournier thinking maybe let's clear out some of these rocks here, make sure we've got a chance at the blank if we need it, or at least simplify our odds of scoring at least for the end.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard.
Good position for Fournier's team, having hammer here in the even ends. Makes a run back double, peels off the one in the top 12 foot, still leaves those two locked in on the top of the button there, and leaves the shooter up as a center line guard. So a chance for Carruthers to continue putting the pressure on this end if they can here. Looks like they are going to draw around that center guard, see if they can go back top 12, maybe top 8 here, and keep this line of protection up there for their one on the top of the button.
Where? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, curl.
It's when the sweepers are backing off a little here. It's running a little bit hot there at the moment. Needs to curl up.
Line.
Looks like they're calling a bit of an audible. It was just a bit heavy. Clips the one on the top of the 4 foot and spills to the back there. Not a great result there for Team Carruthers, as now it lines up the yellow-red almost more right on the nose, so that almost any contact with that yellow-red would make that red go away.
It's pretty flat.
Michael's content leaving that angle, though, and trying something different there, as he was looking at potentially playing heavyweight double on just the two reds. It's like his team suggesting to stick to covering up that one in the 4 foot there, and seeing if they can line up a couple and make it really hard to remove those yellows, giving them a chance of getting a bigger end here out of this. Kevin Floelling in the hack here, throwing the third stones for Michael Fournier's team. Just looking to put this right around the top 8 or top 4. Don't need to be right on top of the one that's in the 4 foot there, but you want to be lined up. Line very important for a shot like this.
Nothing.
This one looks like it might be a bit heavy as well, though. Trying to carve it over, get as close to nose as they can. Bounces off a little bit, though. Unlocks that red, pushes it to the back of the 4 foot. So now there's the two yellows, one of them in the top of the button, one of them in the top 4 foot. It looks like it's currently one yellow. I believe the red at the back 4 foot is out counting the yellow that's at the very top of the 4 foot. Changes the angle a bit here, though. Reid looking to try to unlock those yellows and see if he can move them around here. Not looking for a big weight shot, just trying to get some movement there if they can. Probably looking to just stay right on the nose of the first yellow rock if they can here, to try and maintain control of the house a bit. Line looks pretty close here. Not a lot of weight on this one here. Won't be moving those yellows much, if at all.
Curl distance.
Looks like it's just going to stop top 12 there. So guarding the center line, but still leaves yellow sitting shot rock there. Michael looking to see if they can maybe play a double on the two reds that are at the back 4 foot depth.
Even that's not terrible.
Even a hit and roll in off the first one could get them sitting 2 there.
control.
Trying to decide on what weight they want to throw. Very important to make sure you're aligned on the weight on a shot like this. You do need it to curl up to get that inside roll that you want. So if you're not getting the weight coming at you that you're expecting, you're not going to get the same curl that you're expecting out of it.
Whoa! Whoa! Xander!
So it looks like it's a little bit wide here. Immediately got the outside sweeper going on it. Trying to even get a piece of the red here. Looks like they'll just pick out the red. The shooter's going to roll out. They'll get rid of the one. Still sitting just one yellow in the house there. Reid now seeing if there's a better angle for him to try and make a play on these yellows by playing off the outside one in the top 12. Looks like about a half a rock based on where he's positioning his broom is what he thinks it would take to hit and double one of the yellows out of the center there. This will be a pretty big weight shot here, probably throwing a lot of weight to make sure that as he comes off that yellow in the top 12, he's got plenty of momentum coming towards the center with it to really make sure that the next yellow gets a lot of movement out of the forefoot. You don't want to just push it over an inch or two. You want to get it moving hard out of that center area so that you can actually cut them down here. Taking a moment to gather himself. This is close. They're on and off with Senegalski. Looks like he's really close to it. And just got too little of it. Needed to catch a little more of it. Unfortunately, that leaves them taking out their own at the back of the house. Sorry, the back of the forefoot. That leaves yellow now sitting 2 with hammer here in the fourth end. A big, big momentum change from that mistake there from Team Carruthers. Reid was so close to making that absolutely perfect, and unfortunately just a fraction of an inch difference leads to him taking out his own at the back of the forefoot there and giving Flo Elling a tremendous chance here to get 3 out of this end potentially.
We could come down to this. Then he freezes here though. What, him? Yeah, and I still have a 1 foot run back. You think that?
Just trying to figure out where the best spot to position the third stone is.
I don't want to be tight.
They're thinking if they group them near the center, there might even be a chance of potentially getting a 4 out of this, but very, very difficult then ideally for Reid to remove any of them. So they're drawing in, trying to sit top 4 in behind that red rock in the top of the 12 foot on top of their stones in the top of the 4 foot. This is Michael's first rock here in the fourth end. This is a bit of a path. They haven't played much this end, so it's been a few rocks. The sweepers need to be aware of that. Need to know that just in case it starts slowing down a little bit because it hasn't been played in a few rocks. They're on this the whole way here, it looks like. They're going to try and get it past that red rock. They don't want to clip off it if they can avoid it. It looks like it is, and it's going to stop and stay his fourth shot. That's a bit of a break there for Team Carruthers by having that not get deeper than the red one. Ideally, Reid won't have to worry about that one potentially coming into play, but he needs to make sure he keeps it in mind, though, for whatever shot he chooses to attempt here on this one. Looking at potentially drawing around to see if they can be second shot beside this yellow.
Think so.
If they're able to put it there just beside the yellow at the top of the button, it'll make it very difficult for Fournier to get a second rock in there. Just forcing them to 1 point would be a bit of a victory here for Reid, given how this end is played out here.
Only one goes.
So they just saw the attempt by Michael on this side. Michael's shot just coming up a little bit short. Gives them an idea, though, of the speed over on this side of the sheet.
Should be good speed.
Carruthers last here in the fourth end, looking to shrink the scoring area for Fournier before his last rock.
Line!
Looks like the line's a little bit tight here.
Whoa.
Need to make sure the weight's perfect, though, at the same time. Looks like actually they've got the line right. Is it going to stop in time? It's trying to dig, sits down at the back of the forefoot. Hard to tell from this angle if it's second or third shot. I think regardless if it's second or third shot, that red one, this is a pretty easy call for Michael. He'll throw the draw here knowing that that red is overburied. It's quite hard to move that red. So either way, he's drawing to make sure he gets 2 out of this. If he thinks that the yellow is third shot and the red is closer than it, if the line is good and the weight is good, then they'll call the sweepers to try and tap that red to bring a 3 into play. But very important for him to not overthrow this, focus on making sure he gets his 2 out of this end, and if everything works perfect and a 3 can come into play, that's a bonus for them. If they're already sitting 2, though, then all they're focused on completely here is just that third point.
You got backing!
Sweepers on this almost all the way here, trying to drag it. Just going to come up short, though. Doesn't quite have the weight there. So definitely 1 for Team Fournier. Now they'll take a look here. And it's 2 for Fournier there. That'll be a 2 for yellow, so they'll take a 4-2 lead going to the 5th end, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And we are out here in Waterdown. And you know what? If you are sick and tired of being in the city, you know, we all love Toronto. I love Toronto, but you know what? Maybe it's a little bit too crowded. Maybe there's a little bit too much gridlock. Maybe there's no place to walk and go see cool stuff. So come on out to Waterdown. It's awesome. Beautiful little village you can walk. Great shops, cafes. We have the Waterdown Memorial Park just over the street. It's got a splash pad, baseball diamond. It's got a skateboarding thing for kids. We have a huge Fortino's. I was in there today getting flowers. It's crazy, that store. It's unbelievable. So you have Bike Pass, and you have the Bruce Trail, and you have a ton of parks. And we're in this lovely, quiet little subdivision. And look behind me, just say freaking gorgeous. This house is spectacular. Custom built, beautiful finishes. We have decor black stainless steel appliances, quartz counters throughout, 3/4-inch white oak hardwood floor, ceramic tile. You want light, you want windows, you want bright. This house is gorgeous, super modern, open concept main floor, living, dining. It's got a butler's pantry, this office on the main floor. Upstairs we have 3 bedrooms, and you know what? Every bedroom gets their own bathroom. And the master has a steamed glass shower in it with a beautiful soaker tub. It's just luxury, luxury, high-end, luxury, high-end, luxury, high-end. This home is gorgeous. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the photos, the videos, and give me Stu a call for a personal tour.
Welcome back, everyone. We're at the 5th end now of the first round of playoffs for the Stu Cells Oakville Tankard.
Yeah, line! Line!
Team Fournier with 2 in the 4th end there, taking a 4-2 lead over Team Carruthers.
Whoa! Whoa! Line! 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 Whoa! Oh.
Here in the 5th end, Team Carruthers with the hammer, throwing the red stones. Going to look to see if they can try and get a deuce out of this end and tighten the things back up after falling a little bit behind there. Team Fournier, though, they'll try and keep applying the pressure. They've been playing very well so far. Look to see if they can push and get a force out of this, keep Carruthers to 1, or even if they can steal and open that lead up a little bit larger here. So a couple overlap guards on the center line, creating a big opportunity early potentially for Fournier. He's got one in the top of the 4-foot, partly behind those guards, now trying to draw a second one around. If they can get this around, it'd be a great position to start the end for them.
It's fine.
Just coming up a bit short there. Not going to get the house to the house. It's a high guard. Still on the center line, though. It's not a bad position for them there. If they're going to miss, it's not bad to be out front there early on to create a bit of traffic on the center line. Reid looking to try and do a double peel here if he can, maybe even get up to 3 or 4 rocks going. Just trying to get some stuff off the center line as it hasn't set up all that well so far this end for them. Derek Semigalski with some big weight on this. Runs it back, picks off the red that was overlapped with the tight yellow guard. So they do kill 2 of the guards, but leave their shooter out there and up near where the high yellow guard had been. So still a good opportunity for Fournier here.
We're here. I hear it.
Looks like they're going to try and go underneath those 2 guards, right to the top 4, top 8. See if they can set up some overlapped rocks in the house for themselves. Sean Harrison here, throwing second stones on the Fournier team.
Line's getting better. Line's good. Kev!
It's looking pretty good here, starting to curl. Lots of finish on this Oakville ice. Really nice ice at this club. Always a pleasure to play on it. And you can see with curl like that, it makes for good curling games out there. Lots of interesting options whenever you're out there to play because you can get around a lot of guards with finish like that. Reid now still wanting to try and clear the front. It's looking to run back his red guard, see if he can double off the guards, maybe send that tight yellow guard into the house to create some action on those ones in the top 4 foot. But even if they get just the double peel, he'll be really happy with this shot.
Whoa!
Peels it into his corner guard and then ricochets off to hit the tight yellow guard. So pretty good result there. Gets a few rocks moving. The 2 yellows on the 4 foot are now opened up. His corner guard that remains is tight to the house and has a pretty good angle onto those yellows. So Fournier needs to decide now how aggressively he wants to play for this end, knowing that that corner guard isn't too far of a run back for Reid to try and attempt it there. So he either is going to throw the center guard or he'll clear the corner guard. Looks like they've decided to keep going with some aggression here. Put the pedal to the metal and try and throw a nice, good center guard here. Kevin Flowelling throwing the third stones.
Just 2. Line's good.
Just looking to put this about halfway to the house between the hog line.
Should be good.
Coming over really nice. Sweepers like the weight.
Nice shot.
Looks really good. Stopping maybe just a hair deeper than they would have liked. Very close to nose, though, on the higher of the 2 yellows. That's important because to make the double, they need to hit the first yellow in the house. They aren't as worried about protecting the second yellow because even if Team Carruthers wants to go and hit that second yellow, the top one will remain. So it's more important for them to protect that higher of the 2, which they did. So Reid now looking to run back that yellow guard. Did come a little tighter to the house than they wanted it to be. So if he can get this one coming at the right angle, might be able to spill all the yellows there. Jacobs with the big weight. Negevin trying to push it over. Gets it, runs it back right on the nose of the yellow that was in the top of the higher yellow in the top of the 4 foot. Spills the 2 that were in the house out. So nice run double. Does leave the 1 sitting there in the top 8 foot, but it's almost fully exposed there. So very good result there for Carruthers. Fournier going to try and see if they can come in and just tap that up, hoping to hit that a little on the inside of the nose. That way the shooter will roll a little under the red guards while leaving a bit of a stagger in the house. You'll often hear with curling a Christmas tree shape that they're looking for. They're looking for the branches of the Christmas tree to get a little wider as it gets deeper into the area of play. So that's why they want to hit it a little on the inside of it there and flop over under those guards to create that effect.
Xander!
This needs to curl, though, quite a bit to get to the inside. Really trying to push it over. Doesn't quite get to the inside. Just shy of nose. Taps it back to the back button. Some good separation, at least, between the 2 yellows. But it will leave Reid a chance to make a double on those 2 yellows.
Fraction high.
Looks like it's fairly close to nose that they need to get on this. Even if they get the nose, though, they will remain out in the open, but removing the 2 yellows, it's a big, important move here for Carruthers to try to get out of some danger in this end. Would at least leave themselves with a good chance of getting out with a blank. Fortunately, they stuff it there. The yellow spills out a little bit in the open.
I don't know.
The red shooter does stick around in the side 12 foot. So there might be a chance that they could bring that into play if that's left there by Fournier. Fournier looking at potentially drawing and sitting 2.
A little scary.
Thinking that if they ignore that red in the top 12, but put another rock in there in a really good position that doesn't allow Reid to make a double, that'll be good enough to keep him from getting a multiple this end. Possibly even a chance at a steal if they can put this in a really good spot.
What?
Debating the merits of instead playing the hit here. A lot of discussion that goes into those choices will be focused on what's the likelihood of each of the shots that they make. If they try that draw and put in the exact right spot, obviously everything should work out the way they hope. But if they're a little heavy or a little wide or a little tight, what could happen that could go wrong, and how likely is that? You want to have confidence that you'll make your shot every single time out, but at the same time you need to know what risk level you're playing into when you're calling those shots.
I just think if we give them a double, then
So they've settled on the hit. They're going to try and get the roll. They still like the position that they were looking at for the draw. So instead of drawing there, they'll see if they can hit this wide red one and roll to that position for them.
I know. Well, I think you hit and roll in.
yeah,
Blank's fine. Yeah.
And by removing this red, really reduces the opportunity for Carruthers to score a multiple this end. This is well out there. This is quite a bit wider than they were looking for. Will he stick around the yellow? No. Unfortunately, he rolls out with that. Big break there for Reid. Now he's only contending with one yellow that's in the house. He has a couple red guards up near the center. He'll look to hit this yellow and roll under those guards. He needs to try and make sure, though, he's not too close to center where Michael can then just freeze to his rock after he rolls over.
I think you either play the straight draw, or you just play the hit and roll and you kind of hope for a miss. What do you like?
Pretty important decision here about how aggressively they go after this roll on the hit. If they leave it in a spot where Michael can freeze to it, or they don't make the roll nicely, they need to know that they're going to be able to get out of this end with a blank if they're not able to get their two. Only getting one here is not a good result for Team Carruthers, so they're trying to figure out how good they need to make this and where the best spot is so that they can either have the option of blanking or will have a good shot for two at this end. Reid Carruthers here with his first in the fifth end. Down by two, looking to try and get a hit and roll underneath his two corner guards to try to set up a big chance for a two here to tie up the game, potentially.
Hard!
Immediately out of his hand, Connor Negevin on the rock right away, trying to push that away from center line, but this looks like it's curling really hard. It's clipping the guard. Does it stick around as it spills into the house? Hard to tell there. Looks like it might have just stuck around with a biter there.
Good sweep. Good sweep.
Which could become important if it is actually touching the house. Fournier now needing to decide. where he wants to go here. He does not want to set up a potential double. If that red is in the house, setting up a potential double could be a big mistake here for Fournier. He's thinking if he can get a bit behind those reds, there's no good angle for Reid to try and attempt a double. And that would be good enough for the force. Not really a situation where Fournier's looking for a steal here. He's not worried about protecting his one on the button,
They thought I was
knowing that if he tries to do that, it may set up a chance for Reid to make a play for a 2. So if he can put another rock in the house in a spot where a double would be extremely difficult, that's his best chance at keeping Reid from having a shot for 2. And getting him to only play a shot for 1, which would be an excellent result for Michael in this end.
A lot of room. Xander.
Sweeper's immediately out of his hand, both jumping on the side of the rock to try and push it over and carve it towards those guards. Now settling back in the more natural positions. Looks like they're getting the finish they need.
All right, we're good.
And they get it all the way to full 12 foot. So definitely 2 yellow right now. No natural double available there. Reid will now just quickly take his lineup here to try and set up for a single by just hitting that yellow right on the nose. Carruthers settling the hack, looking to try and score a single here in the 5th end. At least close the gap to 1. And see if they can go and try and put more pressure on Team Fournier in the 6th.
easy. Curl.
Carruthers with the quiet weight here. Semigalski quickly jumping on it for the brush. Having to go hard to try and push it over. They need to stick around here to score. Punches the yellow through, sliding over towards the side of the house, and they just rolled too far. That'll be a steal of 1 for Fournier here in the 5th, giving them a big 5-2 lead after 5 ends. We'll be right back shortly with the 6th end.
Hey guys, welcome to the Stu Sells team's brand new listing. And you know what? I've always said the 4 key things of real estate are location, layout, quality, and uniqueness. And oh my God, check out this location. We are in Lower Babby Point down in the Humber Valley. And who doesn't want to live here? It's like being in the country, but you live in the core of the city. We have the gorgeous Humber River, parks, bike path. You can walk down this bike path and you'll be at the Old Mill. Beautiful place. They have a spa, a nice hotel, restaurant. You can go to the Jane subway station. You want to get downtown. You go up the hill and you're in the Junction, all the funky shops, cafes, one of my favorite areas in the city. And you know what? This home is quality. We have a solid detached brick, beautiful house. We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a stunning addition off the back with a huge living room. You go upstairs, we have cathedral ceilings in the prime bedroom. It has a wood-burning stove. We have a gorgeous stone fireplace in the living room. Kitchen's done, hardwood floors, crown molding, a sauna in the basement for those winter nights if you want to go in the sauna and get warm. And we have 2 exits in the basement. Tons of potential, apartment, in-law suite, so much. You know what? Uniqueness, you want cool? This house is super cool. On the main floor, we have a Gothic-style stained glass window from a demolished church in Quebec. In the prime bedroom upstairs, a gorgeous 19th century stained glass window shipped imported from Ireland. So cool. We have a ton of skylights, a ton of light. If you want light, this is the place. Also, oh my God, I'm afraid the best thing. Backyard, private drive, concrete garage, beautiful, serene, idyllic setting, beautiful mature trees, gorgeous garden, so peaceful, so quiet. And you know what? The layout is awesome. 3 bedrooms, great living room, tons of room, tons of space in the basement, gorgeous kitchen. You know what? This home is so unique and so cool. You're going to be blown away by it. So go to stewcells.ca, see all the videos, the pictures, the tour, the floor plans, and give me Stu a call.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the sixth end of our first round of playoffs for the Stu Cells Oakville Tankard. Team Fournier with a big steal of 1 in the fifth end, now leading 5-2 versus Team Carruthers as we go to the sixth end.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'll just do a quick recap of some of the scores around the other sheets. So just a reminder, as I mentioned earlier, that the way the playoffs work for this, the top pool or top team in each pool, there was 4 pools for both the men and the women. The top team in each one automatically gets a bye to the quarterfinals tomorrow morning. And then the next best 8 records are the teams that are out here playing. So at least 12 teams out of the 24 on both the men's and the women's side still in play here. So these are the teams that are fighting to get into the quarterfinals. On the men's side, Team Owen Purcell is facing Team Jordan McNamara. Purcell up 5-1 after 4 ends. We're watching the game of Team Reid Carruthers from Winnipeg, Manitoba against Team Michael Fournier of Toronto, Ontario. Fournier with the 5-2 lead right now. Team Glenn Howard of Penetanguishene against Team Martine of Woodstock, tied at 2 after 4 ends.
Guys, line's still good. Yep.
And Team Corey Dropkin of Duluth, Minnesota's team facing Team Sam Moybrook of Whitby, Ontario. Dropkin up 3-1 after 3 ends in that game. On the women's side, Team Shelley Hardy of Sarnia, Ontario against Team Delaney Strauss of Traverse City, Michigan, tied at 3 after 4 ends. Isabel Ladisseur of Whitby, Ontario against Christina Black of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Christina Black with a 5-2 lead after 4 ends there. Sayaka Yoshimura of Sapporo, Japan against Holly Duncan of Woodstock, Ontario. Yoshimura with a 4-1 lead over Duncan so far after 4 ends. And Tabitha Peterson of St. Paul, Minnesota against Haley Armstrong of Ottawa, Ontario. 4-1 lead for Peterson over Armstrong after 4 ends there.
Okay.
So here in the sixth end, Carruthers looking to get a bit more aggressive if they can here. They know they need to kind of push the envelope a little bit. They do have hammers, so they've thrown up 2 corner guards here to try and give themselves several options. As Fournier started to build up rocks on the center line, Fournier with a halfway guard as well as one in the top 12 and the one in the 4-foot there, all near the center. So Carruthers looking to try and clear out some of these rocks here, asking for at least a double peel, if not trying to get all the yellows moving if they can. Samigulski does get them all moving, gets the one off the 4-foot. Unfortunately, the one stays biting top 4 off to the side of center, whereas the one that was a halfway guard is spilled out and biting the top 12 off to the side. Not a bad result for Carruthers. It does spread out the rocks a little bit, leaves them with 3 guards. He's going to have some opportunities here to try and build something.
Red on it,
So Michael needs to be aware of that as he's looking to still throw more rocks in play here, despite the lead, knowing that he does want to still try and go aggressive, seeing if he can get another steal, or if he can try to push that force that he wants from Carruthers and get the hammer for himself going into the last 2 ends.
He does this. We freeze.
Looks like he's wanting to go with the draw right around the center guard there. trying to get a few yellows in the house here and really shrink the scoring area for Team Carruthers, forcing them to play more towards the center instead of to the wings, just behind those corner guards that they've thrown.
Miles. Got a curl. Got a curl. Whoa, 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 whoa.
This one looks like it hung out a bit more than they expected. Not quite the weight they were looking for as well. Oh, actually glided in pretty nicely there at the end. Just a little tick off the one that was sitting biting the top 4. So now yellow sits 3. 2 of them in the top 4, 1 in the top 12. The thrown rock under a bit of cover there as well. Reid recognizing that it's pretty important to try and keep a shooter, as he needs to start building some reds in the house if he can. So looking at a bit of a quiet weight shot here, just looking to maybe tap the yellow back, not even focus on removing it here. More important that he tries to get a red in a good position.
Come look! Like, you can probably roll on half of it, but...
Brad Jacobs heading down to try and take a look at the angles here and the positioning with Reid.
Like, it's...
Make sure they get on the same page there if they can.
Maybe just there?
Yeah, I think it's there.
Okay.
Obviously, those familiar with this team know that Brad has plenty of experience himself calling the game. Former Olympic gold medalist himself. A lot of trust between these two as they've built this pairing over the last couple of years. But they know they want to be on the same page about where they want this rock to finish here. Derek coming out with just quiet weight bump here is all they're after. Not throwing big weight at this. Again, needing to get the red into a good spot.
Close! Whoa! Whoa! Curl! 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 Yellow. That yellow.
Taps the yellow that was shot rock, pushes it to the back 4, leaves the shooter though almost on the nose of the yellow that's biting the top 4. Very close to what they were after there. They might have wanted that yellow that they tapped to go a little bit deeper if they could, but sticking around with where they did was very important on that shot. So good result altogether for them. Now Fournier's team looking to add another yellow in there again, trying to pile a few of them here in the 4-foot to really cut down on the space that Reid has to work with. Also utilizing those guards. There's a few guards out there now, so it gets very hard to start playing any kind of significant weight into the house to remove all these yellows as they get more and more of them in there. This one running a little bit wide though, not quite getting in there as close to center as they wanted to. Taps the red yellow. Does shift the angle though on those. Unlocks that yellow now. If anything was made on that yellow-red combination, the red rock may not go directly onto the yellow. It might go over the top of it there. And that's a good change up for Team Fournier there.
Bump!
Looks like Reid wants to make a play on this though. Wants to see if they can get rid of at least a yellow rock here. Might clip the red and change up the angle, but if he can at least get some yellows getting out of there, that'll help free up some space for him to try and get a couple out of this end. Very important for Reid to try to get a multiple here so that he can close the gap, knowing that as soon as he scores, the hammer will switch to Team Fournier, and he needs to try and be close after this end if possible.
Whoa! 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 Curl!
Sandalski motioning that this one's got a little extra weight.
Hard, Derek.
Trying to push it over. This is pretty close, though. Hits it, jams it on the one that was on the back four, rolls the shooter in behind the corner guard there. Pretty good result out of that shot. There's no good angle for Team Fournier to attempt to double on those reds right away, because if they were to try and double those reds, there's a good chance the red in the top 8 foot would jam on the yellow that's in the 4 foot. So they may go after a single hit on the reds, but not likely to try a double here. At the same time, they don't want to leave that red in that top 8 foot. That's a dangerous rock for them there. It can be used in multiple different ways, different taps or runbacks for Team Carruthers. So they do want to try and deal with it. And so instead of looking at a double, they are looking to hit and roll a little bit to the right-hand side. It'll help protect their yellow that's in the side 4 foot, but also help outcount the red that's just fighting the 8 foot in behind the corner guard. They can count that out with a yellow that's very difficult to remove. It'll be hard for Team Carruthers to ever bring that red into play here.
Hard, Xander! Hard!
This needs to curl up a bit more. Looks pretty good. Just gets it in by that yellow. Punches it out the back. Rolls over behind the corner guard. Sitting third shot ahead of that red in the 12 foot. Very, very nice result there for Team Fournier. Reid now trying to figure out how's his best opportunity going to come about to still get a multiple out of this end. They've got 3 rocks to come here, so they've got a few to work with. Need to try to be on top of that one that's on the button there, or even tap it back a little bit and create a bit of space while sitting shot rock in front of it. So just a draw, maybe a little bit of a heavy draw for Brad here. Line very important though with this one to get this in behind the guard and in front of that yellow.
See with it.
Sweepers not putting much to this yet. Looks like it might be a little heavier than they wanted. Just clips off the yellow and spills to the side there. Unfortunate break with it just being just a hair too heavy for Team Carruthers.
I kind of like rolling away. Like a board, or what do you think?
Sure.
Michael now immediately going to hit that red rock, looking to roll a bit to the side. Likes where his rock is positioned on the side of the button, doesn't want to leave any additional opportunity for Reid to get in there, doesn't want to leave something that could be doubled off. That's a big focus here. He's got to make sure that he rolls far enough away or that's flat enough that there's no double for Reid to make, or potentially even a triple that'll roll Reid in behind the guard as he makes the shot.
Is it slowing down at all? Or? Okay.
Michael with his first here in the 6th end. Just playing quieter weight here. Line looks pretty close here. He's going to get a little roll away. And that's a very nice shot as it settles in on top of the rock in the side of the 4 foot. Both of them well behind that yellow that's in the top 8, as well as the red guard out in front of them, leaving no double to come off those for Reid there. So Reid forced to go back towards the draw that Brad just attempted. Brad just coming up a couple inches too heavy and bouncing off the yellow that's on the button.
Freeze.
The yellow being a bit overburied, so Reid's going to have to try and make sure that he doesn't have this finish a little too wide. He's got to get a bit tight to that red guard to get that curl that he needs to get all the way over towards that yellow and tap it back. Reid with his first rock now in the 6th end. Looks like Negevin and Samigalski like the weight, staying very close there. Here comes the curl. A lot of late finish on this ice. Not too tight to the guard. It needs to finish over a bit more. Sweepers are backed off. Looks like it picked coming into the house there. That took a hard turn and dug in. You can see Samigalski kind of sweeping and cleaning up right near the top of the house. Looks like it just caught some piece of debris as it was coming in there and ground into a halt a little bit short of where they wanted it.
Well, I think he's got a. Does he have a deuce on this? No, He's got. No, that's not a deuce.
He makes that,
I don't even see. Is this even a deuce, Kev? So. Like, geez, he's got a hair this 7. I'd give him that. What does he throw?
I think he's got that for 2. It's tough.
So Michael and Kevin there trying to figure out what options Reid has. They are sitting shot rock. Reid with the last one, so they know he's going to look at every possibility here that he has to try and get 2 out of this. Reid is the second shot rock there right now. While it did pick and settle in a little bit higher than they expected, it still got full 4 foot.
I think if you're trying to steal, you force him to throw this one.
So Michael and team trying to figure out what's Reid's most likely option that he would play to try and get his 2, and what's the best way for them to try and take that shot away.
What?
I don't think that guards anything. Like,
won't be able to kind of take everything away from Reid, but you want to be able to take away what you think he would find his easiest attempt at it, and just push him into the most difficult shot that he would for it, hoping to get a miss that way.
I don't see it.
probably.
I don't see it.
Oftentimes curlers will say it's not what shot you make, it's what shot you leave for your opponents is the most important after you're done throwing.
I think we all want to be high.
What's that? Yeah. I don't think throw it away is not terrible here.
Yeah, I just don't want to
So it looks like they've settled on trying to throw a rock either as a tight guard or even top 12 near center line, preventing Reid from just playing a quiet weight double tap potentially that might allow him to get his 2. If Reid wants to go aggressive after his 2, which is quite likely, it'll force him to play with one of the corner guards instead to try and get those rocks moving.
Hold line.
This one hanging out a little bit. Both sweepers trying to push it over. Looks like they like where it's starting to go for line. The weight's pretty close. This looks pretty good there. So a nice guard there from Team Fournier.
I mean, he's got to score, right?
So Reid looking at his options. A few angles are possible here, so they'll take a bit of time here to try and figure out what they think is the highest percentage chance to make of all of their options. That's one of the reasons sometimes you throw up these corner guards. You're hoping to use them to protect rocks in the house, but they can also be tools late in the end to try and help you score when sometimes the end doesn't play out the way you're looking for. It gives you a couple options later on to use.
Could have taken it away, I guess.
Reid looks like he likes trying to play the run back of this red to just clip that yellow in the top of the 12, very, very thin, and have it then go onto the rock that's on the side of the button. very precise shot. This has to just graze that one in the top of the 12. Otherwise, it's going to go send it careening into the red rock that's in the top of the 4. There may not be a lot of danger to that, as likely that red in the top 4 would then head towards the yellows at the side of the 4 foot.
Well, if he's...
But it's very important for Reid to score here. They need to try and make sure that they get that yellow out of there one way or another,
It's got to be
so that they can count here and get back in this game. Reid Carruthers with his last rock here in the 6th end.
Yep. Whoa.
Not throwing big weight on this.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Pretty close here.
Whoa.
Hurling a little bit. Gets a bit. Gets the rub, but just missed actually getting the rub. It just got by that yellow. Therefore, it is a steal of 1 for Team Fournier. So it's now 6-2 after 6 ends. We'll be right back shortly with the 7th end. Welcome back, everyone, to the 7th end here of our first round of playoffs. Nice early morning time now here in Oakville for the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard. Thanks for joining us at this point here. Our feature game is Team Fournier against Team Carruthers. It's 6-2 for Team Fournier here in the 7th end. Carruthers with the hammer. Going to look to play very aggressive now, as they need to try and force a big end for themselves here if they can. So setting up the 2 corner guards to start the end here, and expect them to probably leave quite a few rocks in play this end as they try to see if they can get possibly even a 3 this end to bring them really close in the score. We do have our first final score. Team Corey Dropkin was able to secure a 7-2 win over Team Sam Muybrook of Whitby, Ontario. So Team Dropkin will move on to the quarterfinals in the morning. I guess later this morning it'll be. Team Fournier here looking to throw a center guard. They've got a rock in the top 12 foot, rock in the top 4 foot, a bit of a stagger on them, trying to create a bit of an angle there. Now the center guard trying to put it right on center so that everything isn't perfectly lined up.
Not bad.
Hoping that therefore if Team Carruthers tries to peel some of these rocks, they have to play it as an angle, likely causing them to roll away. So Reid not going in that direction. As I mentioned, he's going to have a lot of rocks in play here, likely looking to try and go through the port and just start tapping some rocks back while leaving that yellow guard up front there. Samagalski here throwing the second stones. Looks like they need to really push this for line to get by the center guard as it's carving hard over. Just clips the center guard.
Works, Derek.
Spilling over, adding another corner guard on each side, actually, as the yellow goes to the one side, the red goes to the
A
other.
little more ice. Tiny bit down, but more ice.
Team Fournier looking to replace that center guard. Should lead to lots of options for both teams having this many rocks out front this early on. Often a key to trying to build a big end, if you need it when you're trailing, is to leave a lot of rocks in play so that it's harder for your opponents to actually remove your stones. They have to navigate around any that you have in play in order for them to be removed. But at the same time, Michael liking the setup that he has here in the house with that rock that's almost biting the top of the button right on center line. It's a good position for them there. So he's thinking, you know, the steals have worked so far. Let's stay aggressive and keep pushing to see if we can keep this momentum going here late in the game. Story of the game so far definitely has been the steal ability from Team Fournier. 4 stolen points so far in this game.
Clean.
That's the difference between the two teams right now.
Whoa, close. Whoa, curl. Whoa, line.
Samagalski here trying the same tap that they tried last time. Port quite small there. Very nice navigation of it. Gets the tap back. So they double tap the yellows, push one all the way to the back 12. The first one stays biting the top 4. Their shooter rolls over behind a corner guard in the top 12. Its third shot does bury a little piece of it there. So Fournier trying to figure out what's their best way to try and get at that rock. For Michael, eliminating reds is a key thing now, or certainly eliminating any reds that are in the house.
Going here anyway.
With all these guards, though, it does make it difficult to potentially start peeling guards now.
Just do this.
Those red guards, if they start trying to remove them and hit them on the wrong angle, they could start coming back into the house towards those yellows. Something that Reid wouldn't be too opposed to if they had an extra red or two still into the house right now.
I just don't want to move this one, though. What?
What do we need to hit to not move yellow?
Like 7/8?
Looks like Team Fournier is going to take a bit of time to decide here what they want to do with this. So while they head down and discuss this, I'll do a quick recap on where we are with some of our other scores.
I don't think taking it. You can see it.
Team Owen Purcell currently with a 6-1 lead after 5 ends against Team Jordan McNamara.
Tick, you're probably opening it up.
It should be more open.
Team Mark Keane with a 4-2 lead over Team Glenn Howard.
Like hack.
As I mentioned, Team Corey Dropkin with a 7-2 win over Team Sam Muybrook. On the women's side, Team Shelley Hardy with a 4-1 lead, 4-3 lead, I apologize, over Delaney Strauss after 6 ends. Team Christina Black with a 7-5 lead over Isabel Strauss after 6 ends. Team Sayaka Yoshimura with a 6-2 lead over Holly Duncan after 6 ends. And Team Tabitha Peterson with a 6-4 lead over Haley Armstrong. So Team Fournier decided instead of doing a run back here, they're just going to play a bit quieter weight, try and go past or between the guards and see if they can just chip out the red here. A little more in control with playing this kind of weight. Big push to try and get it over there. Very nice shot. Gets it by the guard. Taps out the red. Rolls the shooter over to the other side of the house. Half in the 8-foot. Over underneath the other corner guards. Leaving yellow sitting 3 now in the house. So Reid now thinking they'll try and play a bit of a quiet hit on the rock in the top of the 4-foot. See if they can roll the shooter over underneath the yellow that was just rolled over into the side of the house. Use that itself as a bit of a guard for them. With all these corner guards, plenty of areas for Team Carruthers to try to roll to get to safety, but they got to get by this center guard here first. Big sweep here. Just clips the guard though. Pushes the guard out of the way. Will they spill in and at least get a biter at the side of the house? They do. So red now sitting the 4th shot over at the side 12-foot. Team Fournier looking at maybe throwing the guard back up, trying to decide if that's their best course of action. Always a bit of a danger when you're leading and you're throwing extra guards up late in the end. But in this case, Team Fournier, it's been working for them all game here. This aggressive strategy, not seeing a need to change it. They're sitting in good shape this end, looking to just try and keep the momentum going for them. Kevin will just try and throw this about halfway or so between the hog line and the house. Pretty close to center line, maybe just a little bit off to the side so that it's directly in front of their shot rock.
Sean! Sean! Hey, whoa, we're good.
Weight coming in a little tighter to the house, but still going to be out front, it looks like.
Great shot, Kev.
Very nice. Very close to what they were wanting to be perfect for them. Reid now having to look at a little more extreme possibilities, it seems, to try to open things up while also getting another red in the house and seeing if they can get some of these yellows out of there all at once. So he's looking at his corner guard, seeing if they can run that back towards the yellows, possibly getting 2, maybe all 3 yellows in the house moving if they can hit this just right.
On which?
This will probably be pretty big weight here coming from Brad.
Yes. Yeah,
to try to get as many rocks moving as they can. Comes Brad, fires out of the hack. Right away, Semigulski, it's close to what Reid's looking for the line. Runs it back just between the yellows. Such a tough break there. Just the wrong side of an inch, a fraction of an inch to miss that one there. Both corner guards are gone as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And all the yellows remain for Team Fournier.
That's why I'm over here.
that's not guarding that though.
Michael now looking how to continue the pressure here.
Makes it easier, I guess.
For one.
Knowing that now there's even less angles for Reid to work with now that those corner guards are gone. There is a draw path for Reid to throw towards the button now from that side. But Michael knows Reid won't be content with just trying to score one this end. He knows that he'll need to try to go for a multiple if he can.
Why don't we just draw here? And he makes it. And
I kind of don't hate take that away.
just guard that?
Guard that.
It's not easy to guard it, but...
Okay, I don't mind it. Like here? That's about there.
Running through all the different possibilities with Kevin here. Looks like they're going to try and throw.
I'd rather hog it than get close to it.
Another rock in the house, I believe, in front of that yellow rock on the side of the 8-foot there.
Yeah, he's good. You can give it to us.
So 4-3.
Possibly even maybe come a little bit deeper than it, just to put a little more added protection in the house if they can. Kevin actually moving up front. Looks like instead of actually they're throwing in those, they're actually throwing a guard over in that area, trying to take away the angle on the red guard in the corner there. Thinking that's the most likely opportunity for Reid to try to go to next for a big multiple here.
Yeah, I don't think I can see enough to make this.
The other way is that whole, I think the draw is the ball.
Yeah.
Reid now taking a look at the possibility. Looks like they're thinking, though, that now there's no great angle for a corner guard to run in, no good angle to try and hit in off something. So they're going to try and throw one that's shot rock on the button, possibly even the back button here, but one that's very difficult for Team Fournier to try to remove in any way, hoping that maybe they can get a miss out of him and leave Reid a draw for 2 at the end of this.
Speed should be still 15-ish.
I love a 15.
So Reid here with his first in the 7th end, trailing by 4. Needs to try and put one in a really good spot to give himself a chance for 2 this end.
Room. Line.
And Migalski a little on and off. They like the weight. The line's very close here. Looks almost perfect for line. It's the weight right there. Just a little rub off the yellow as it just pushed over at the last second. Settles, though, on the top button here.
I could just rip it, I guess.
Michael looking to see, is it exposed enough that he can play a hit on it? Looks like it is. Looks like he can see about half of the red rock there.
Step broomhead in.
Only risk he'll just have to avoid is making sure he doesn't hit it onto the back yellow and leave his shooter there where a double might be made. Sometimes you get a little focused on just making sure you hit it, that you do have to pay attention to where you're hitting it to. Make sure that you know what angle you have to get this on so that you don't accidentally leave another option for your opponent there. This one looks pretty good. Good solid weight. Just going to pick it out.
Good game. Thanks.
And all he'll leave Reid. It's likely a draw for 1, and that's actually going to be handshakes. That will be a 6-2 win for Team Fournier over Team Carruthers as Team Fournier advances to the quarterfinals tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for tuning in to the playoff round here at the Stu Sells Oakville Tankard, and we hope to see you tomorrow.